session 2. Session 2 is nothing but exploring the various Flutter widgets. In Flutter, everything is a widget. We'll explore about the text, image, and container, etc. Will hardly take 60 to 90 minutes to complete this session. Okay. Learning outcomes. Will by end of the session, student or else we will be able to explain what a widget is, how to use text widget, and how to use the icon widget, and also we'll discuss something about image widget and container widget and elevated button widget. Okay, so before that we need to create all these files, like text file names like text widget and icon widget, image widget. Will create separate files for each. Okay, and before that we'll discuss something like we'll have some questions, like basic questions. You guys can also write in your observation or something like that. So for that, what is a widget or widget? Okay, what is a widget? What is a widget? Fine. So a widget. What is a widget? Okay, what is a widget? A widget is the building block of a Flutter application. Then we need to understand that everything in Flutter is a widget. Everything in Flutter is a widget. So let's have some examples for this. So UI component will have user interface component, and in that UI component and Flutter widget. Okay, Flutter widget. UI component. Let's say text like in your user interface, if it is text, and Flutter widget is text, and if it is image, it is image widget, and if it is button, okay. Next, if it is button, then elevated button. Flutter widget is elevated button if you want to click, and if it is AppBar, and here AppBar. Okay, and text, image, if it is AppBar, and if you want to, in user interface, if you want to check the screen, then scaffold. Okay, scaffold. Okay, and if it is icon, then icon. Okay, icon. Now in the project structure, under liv folder, we will create files. Okay, it means the folder structure supposed to be like like this. I mean, under lib we need to have main.dart. Under that main.dart we need to have text underscore widget dot dart and icon underscore widget dot dart, image underscore widget dot dart, and container underscore widget dot dart, and button underscore widget dot dart. Each in this each file in this each file demonstrates one widget. This makes the project organized and easier to understand. Clear? Now we'll go to VS Code. From here, if you want to create a file under lib, you can click on Control Shift P. It will come like this. I mean, file, new file. You can click on new file, enter, and under new file you guys can see here we can click like text underscore widget dot dart. Okay, now this file got created. Now what we will do, create what we will do, I'm also clearing okay. Now I'm in lib. We have main.dart, and we also understood in the initial sessions, we also understood about import package Flutter material.dart, which it means like it will import the material design package from Flutter. And void main, it is the main entry point of the application, and it is the first function that gets called when the app starts. And runApp constant my app is nothing but runApp is a built-in function that takes a widget and makes it the root of the widget tree. In this case, we are passing an instance of my app. We are passing an instance of my app as the root widget. It is the root widget. Okay, now I'm just clearing all this. And we'll write from the scratch. And in the text, we are exploring the text widget. And in the main also we don't have anything. Okay, now we'll start with text underscore widget dot. In this we'll write, and now in this we'll write from the scratch. I'm starting with import package Flutter /material.dart. Okay, material.dart, and termination symbol, and I'm clicking on enter. Now see, as I'm getting in default what I want, but I'll do it from in default it is showing the like default code, but I'll write from the scratch. Okay, so this line is saying that we are importing the material. We are importing the material package alt z material design widgets in our application. Material design widgets in our application. And next, to the next, we need to go up with class text widget extends stateless widget. Stateless widget. So we got it, we got entire code, but I don't want. So text widget. So we are now next line is class text widget extends stateless widget. Okay, so we are creating a stateless widget because we don't need to change the state of the widget. We don't want to state of the widget, state of the widget. It means we are creating, we are here we are creating a stateless widget because we don't need to change the state of the widget. We are state of the widget. We are creating a stateless widget because we know state of the widget. Okay. Next constant widget dot super key. This is the constructor of the text widget. The constructor of the text widget. We are using the super.key to pass the key to the parent class. Now I'm not explaining in detail what it is, but it is a constructor. We'll learn what it is in detail more in future. Okay. Now next overriding the build method of stateless widget class to return a widget tree. Now widget build context. It means the build method is responsible for creating the user interface of this widget. I mean the build method is called whenever the widget is rebuilt. Is responsible for creating the widget tree that will be displayed on the screen. Widget build context. Okay. Now next to that, next return. We have a lot of things over here. I'm just removing all this. Okay. Now I'll remove this as well. Return scaffold. I'll write from the starting. Import package Flutter material.dart. Okay. After this class text widget extends stateless widget text widget, stateless widget, constant text widget, get a text editor. In this you need to suggest about you need to ask about inline suggest, inline suggest. If you click on this, you will have this. In this, if you click on okay, it will automatically suggest what we need to write in the next. Automatically it will suggest the code, but I don't want that, as we are in the learning stage. We need to type manually so that we can understand very far better, like, so that it took time. So now I'm coming back to this. Now I'll write. Now we will explore the text widget. Okay, we'll explore the text widget now. And I'm writing the text widget under the lib folder. Under the lib folder we have main.dart, and main.dart also I've cleared everything, and I'm writing text widget. Okay, text widget. In that we are importing. I've just okay, we'll write import in this package flutter material.dart. Material.dart. Okay, material.dart. Clear? Material.dart. Now here, now it means we are importing the material design library, which provides ready-made Flutter Alt Z ready-made Flutter widget, such as text, AppBar, Scaffold, which is nothing but string, Scaffold, and the container, row, and column. Okay, we are creating our own widget named text widget. It extends stateless widget, which means this widget does not manage changing data. State is nothing but data. Stateless, I mean data-less widget. Okay, now to the next. We need to write next. We need to explore like constant text widget, text widget, text widget, super.key, super.key, super.key. What is this? Okay, constant super key. Okay, now in this we need to understand about constant text widget, why we did this. This is the constructor of our widget. Constant helps Flutter optimize performance when the widget doesn't change. Okay, and super.key is used by Flutter to uniquely identify this widget when needed. Okay, next override. Next to that override at override widget build context. Okay, why we write this? Because every Flutter widget must have a build method. Okay, this method tells Flutter what should be displayed on the screen. Okay, whatever we return from this method becomes the user interface, UI. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, context return scaffold. Now we'll write return scaffold. Under this we have AppBar, final widget, body, final widget, all these we have. So buttons and all, but here we will write what is scaffold first of all. Okay, what is scaffold? Scaffold is like the basic structure or skeleton of a mobile application screen. It provides places for an AppBar drawer and floating action button and bottom navigation bar and more. Most Flutter screens start with the scaffold. Okay, now return scaffold AppBar constant AppBar equal to AppBar the AppBar is the top bar of the application. It usually contains the title and sometimes action buttons. Okay, now here we will start with title constant text data, and that data what data will have text widget. We are exploring text widget get text widget. Now you can see AppBar and scaffold, we got it right. Now after this we will understand about inside the AppBar we display a title. Here the title is Text Widget. Text is another widget used to display your text on the screen. Okay, now we have completed AppBar. Now if I okay, now after text and context constant text widget, now what we will do, we will close this. Now under this we'll write body constant center. Okay, center. So here the body is the main content area of the screen. Okay, and we are wrapping our text inside a center widget. Okay, center widget. The center widget places its child exactly in the middle of the screen. Okay, next, child text data. What data we need to give? Welcome to Flutter. This data is fine. Now child means the widget inside another widget. Here the child of center is a text widget. Okay, now this text will come to the Flutter, will appear on the screen. Okay, next we will have some properties like style, style, text style, text style will have the font size, let's say 28, comma, and font weight, font weight bold. Okay, or else font weight dot bold, and colors dot will have blue. Okay, now we'll check is there any errors. We'll check the errors. Style is outside the widget. text widget. So here everything got settled and we done so far this, and I have explained you everything, and we'll start we'll start building main.dart. So without main.dart we can't do this, so we'll write main.dart. Okay, because main.dart is the entry key, so we'll move to main.dart. So in this session we have written text widget. We have created custom widget named text widget. We have created custom named widget which is called text widget. However, we are creating a widget alone is not enough. Flutter still doesn't know where to start the application to or which widget should be displayed first. So every Flutter application must have main.dart. Because the file is the entry point. This file is the entry point of the application. Whenever we run Flutter app, execution always starts from main.dart. Inside this main.dart, we write the main function, and inside that we call runApp. The runApp function launches the Flutter application and displays the widget that we specify. Okay, now we are importing the required files. That is import package Flutter material.dart, and next we are importing text underscore widget.dart. I mean this file name. Okay, which is text underscore widget.dart. Okay, now we are doing this. Next we will create the main function void main. Void main is nothing but void main, and the main function is the starting point. The main function is the starting point of every Dart application, Dart and Flutter applications. Whenever we run the app, execution begins from this function. And inside this main we call runApp. Okay, runApp. So under runApp we are passing my app constant okay my app. After this, so we are passing my app to runApp, which means my app becomes the root widget. Okay, my app becomes the root widget. So I'll write whatever I have explained, so that you guys can remember this. So the main next time I'll not write like this. You guys can write for once, so that next time it will be easy. The main function is the starting point, which I've said, the starting point of every Dart and Flutter applications. Whenever whenever we run the app, execution begins from this function. Okay, from this function, and inside the main we call runApp. This function launches the Flutter application. We are passing my app to runApp which means my app becomes the root widget of our application. That's it. Okay, now we will create the my app class. So to create that class, my app extends stateless widget. What is stateless widget? Now we are creating another widget named my app. This is the root widget of our application. It extends stateless means no change, stateless widget, because it doesn't manage changing the data. Okay, now constant my app super key. So what does it mean? This is the constructor of the my app widget. This is the constructor of the my app widget. Constant improves performance and super.key allows Flutter to uniquely identify the widget when needed. Okay, now at the right, override build, override widget build context. So every widget must implement a build context, because because the build method, this method describes what should appear on the screen. Now we will return constant material app the workshop checked banner. So in this we have true or false, we'll have false, and home equal to text widget. Okay, now this in the step 7 we did like we hide the by default this line, the above line, by default Flutter displays a debug banner in the top right corner while developing settings this property to false hides that banner. Okay, the home property specifies the first screen display when the app starts. Here we are getting the button to show our custom text widget as the home screen. Press. Now we will run the application. Flutter run. We will start in Chrome. There is an error, couldn't find the So here I did small mistakes like where while writing the code where I mentioned my app over here, but again but here I've written like my small a. That will not work out. Okay, that will not work out. Now we got the application. In center we need to get got it. We have created text widget. So far we have created text widget. Now we will redirect. So what we have done so far, I'll tell you once again, and here you guys can see small r is nothing but hot reload, and if click on capital R, then we will get hot restart, and H list all available interactive commands, and D detach terminate Flutter run but leave application running, and C start like clear the screen, and quit terminate the application on the device. So we got the application here. Now what I'm doing now, I'll read out what we have done so far. So first of all, we have written import package flutter material.dart and import text underscore widget.dart, which is under the main.dart. Text this is the file name we have written over here, and main is the entry point of every Dart and Flutter application. Whenever we run Flutter application, execution always starts with main function. Execute starts always with main function. Inside main we call runApp. The runApp function launches the Flutter application. I mean, it will open the Flutter application, and we are passing my app to runApp, which means my app becomes the root widget of our application. And here we are creating our own widget named my app. Own widget name, it extends stateless widget, which means widget does not manage changing data, which is nothing but state. Once displayed, its data remains the same unless the widget is rebuilt. Okay, and then and below to that we are creating, this is the constructor of my app. This is the constructor of my app widget. Constant helps the Flutter optimize performance when the widget does not change, and super key allows Flutter to uniquely identify this widget whenever required. Super key allows Flutter to uniquely identify. Okay, and override widget build context means every Flutter widget must implement the build method. The build method tells the Flutter what should be displayed on the screen. Whenever we return from this method becomes the user interface. Okay, and return to below that we are writing return constant material app. Return constant material app. Under material app you can see there are a lot of things. So material app is the root widget of material design application. It provides the overall structure and behavior of the app, and debug shows checked mode banner hides the debug banner shown during development. The home property specifies the first screen that appears when the application starts, and here we are displaying our custom text widget which we created in the text widget file. Home, I mean in this text widget we have created text widget file. So for that we are talking about here, right? Fine. Now, so I'm just quickly we first imported what we have done. I told you so far. Okay, first so our complete application is all about main run app, and then my app, and under my app we need to think about after my app material app, and under material app home to the text widget. This is what we have done. Okay, this is what we have done so far. Fine. Now we'll move to the next.